This is a direct message, a DM from Lawrence. He's out of Minneapolis. He's a former college baseball pitcher. And it says, Adam, is it okay to train on machines? I'm seeing these people in our gym and they're huge and they all train on machines rather than barbells like I used to. Uh, yeah, some of the biggest people in the gym don't deadlift. And that should probably make you at least raise an eyebrow, right? So let's dive deep to what that means, right? First, understand that there are two realities happening at once. On one hand, the guys that you're talking about, right? The Branch Warrens, the Ronnie Colemans, the Dorian Yates, those were bodybuilders, athletes who built their foundation with bars, heavy compound movements, and years of progressive overload. And then they probably used machines at times, right? But their base was heavy loaded compound movements, right? On the other hand, a lot of folks who are big now, they might have built most of their mass years ago from compound work, or they may be skilled at hypertrophy focused sort of machine training and nutrition. The key point is this: the foundation first. You want your training to develop resilient joints, balanced posterior chain, and real force production. That's what matters, right? Real force. And that usually comes from barbell work. Things like squats or deadlifts or hip hinge patterns, loaded carries, very Dan John-esque. These teach the system how to handle load, coordinate massive motor patterns, and build connective tissue. And all of that stuff is critical. Machines are a great tool, sure, yeah. They let you target muscles with less technical demand and often with less central nervous system costs. If someone has a legitimate need to avoid heavy bars, maybe it's an old surgery, an injury that responds better to machines or things like that, or maybe a tactical requirement to avoid spinal loading or something, I totally get that. But what I don't want you to do is just simply skip the compound movements and that education that comes early in your training life and expect that machines can replace that. That's just simply not in your best interest. It's like telling that 12-year-old to train like LeBron James in every way, right? LeBron trains specifically for his body with years of programming and a need behind him. You need foundational development first. And that said, machines are powerful when used intelligently. Sure, yeah, use them for high volume hypertrophy phases or finishing work after heavy compound movements, and or for specific isolation where a joint needs maybe some load sharing or you need to limit some translational forces through our body. But don't let machines be your baseline. If you have early access to a barbell and are healthy enough to use it, then use it, right? Do those things. Train the movements that teach your nervous system how to move, right? And then use the machines to add volume or protect your joints when needed. But for former athletes, especially, especially ex-college former athletes, we need to keep things like squats and hinge work and loaded carries in your program, at least as maintenance anchors.